back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying a couple of the Nespresso Virtual pods that came out a couple months ago. So we're going to be trying the rich chocolate pod and the roasted hazelnut pod. Now, I did already do a video regarding the golden caramel and the sweet vanilla, so if you want, go back and watch that. But you guys already know that I prefaced it by saying that between me and you, I didn't try the originals of either of these pods. I did try it for the golden caramel, the caramel cookie version of it. But other than that, unfortunately, I don't really have a comparison to give these for. So we're just gonna go into it and I'm gonna taste how good they are. I will say I've had these for a couple weeks and I have tried them with some of the creamers and syrups that I have. So I will give you guys my preferred recipe with each of these pods at the end of this video. But overall, I'm excited to taste them without any cream or any sugar. So let's get into it. But before we get into that, I did want to remind you guys that we are still doing the Bestpresso pod giveaway on this channel. So if you do want to be entered to win 20 free Intenso Bestpresso pods, which personally I've been living, laughing, and loving for, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and comment down below a question for my coffee chat Q&A, which I'm hoping to have in the next couple of weeks. I will do the cutoff for June 15th. So please comment down a question on either this video, any of my videos, on my social media profiles, which I'll link here, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll get in contact with you if you win. So without any further ado, let's get into taste testing these pods, okay? So the first one we're gonna do is the rich chocolate pod. And honestly, it's really just supposed to be creamy and chocolatey. Those are what the notes are supposed to be, so I'm intrigued to see what it actually tastes and smells like. Let's brew it. Okay, I just brewed it. Let's give it a smell and a taste. Wow, very much like the Sioco Latina pod, even while it was brewing, honestly. And I'm really shocked because usually the Virtual line and the original line don't match as closely as you would think, but the smells are almost exactly the same. And if you remember that review, I said that the Sioco Latina pod, as well as this, smells kind of earthy, but very much like they just got the chocolate from the cocoa pod or the cocoa bean. And what I mean by that is that it's very rich, very malty, very dark as well. Kind of like you're smelling some really rich, raw, dark chocolate or cacao, okay? Very, very interesting. And it smells like it would taste pretty good. So let's give it a taste. So this pod is very much, again, like the Sioco Latina pod, but I do think this is a little bit more bitter than I remember that one tasting. Again, very on par though, because it is supposed to be a rich chocolatey pod, and usually richness comes from the darkness of the chocolate. So this is, again, going to be very bitter. It doesn't say that it's super bitter on the Nespresso website, but I would disagree. I think that this is very bitter. In terms of what is supposed to be a more flavored, maybe supposed to be a lighter, like Barista Creations coffee. It doesn't have the intensity on this, but in comparison to the other Barista Creations pods that I've tasted, I do think this is more bitter and a little bit more roasty, which I don't mind. Now, I do find this a little bit harder to drink with it being just black like this. So would I do that? Probably absolutely not. More so than I would with like maybe El Salvador, like we reviewed last week. That one I feel like I could finish it just black like this. But for this one, definitely gonna need sugar and cream for my personal preferences. But other than that, I do think it's really good. If you are a chocolate lover, I don't think you're gonna be very disappointed with this. I mean, personally, I don't know if I would pair it with a very floral syrup, but I could see it pairing with maybe a fruitier syrup and something else that's kind of chocolatey. So I'm all for it. I would rate this probably a 7 out of 10. Not obsessed with it. Don't think I would buy this pod again, but I do think it is a good option in general for people that enjoy chocolate and people that enjoy flavored coffees. So there you go. Now let's try the roasted hazelnut pod. Now, you already know I love hazelnut, okay? I love hazelnut. And I've actually been really liking this pod. I've been liking the other pod with the recipes that I've come up with, but I do think this one is definitely takes the cake amongst all of the barista creations that I've tried so far. So with that, I have not tried it just plain like this, so let's brew it, smell it, taste it. Okay, so right off the bat, like just the smell as it was brewing again, mixed with the smells that I'm smelling right now, exactly like the Noceola pod in the original line. And again, I don't know how they do this. It's absolutely amazing, but it is really, really good. And I'm a sucker for it. Y'all already know, love hazelnut. So 10 out of 10 for smell, okay? Very, very to the point of hazelnut, which is good. And what I expect from a roasted hazelnut pod. So let's give it a taste. So I will say it's not exactly the same taste as the original line, but I do think the hazelnut flavor is there. And I think it's only going to be awesomely accentuated with hazelnut syrups, hazelnut creamer, all that fun stuff. I think this would pair well with a chocolate syrup as well, or a chocolate sauce. And overall, I think that this taste is very green, very earthy, somewhat roasty, but definitely really, really nutty, which is amazing. And I'm glad that they got that taste in there. It's also somewhat creamy as it's going down. This one definitely a lot less bitter than the other one. And I don't think either of them are super acidic. So I would say that both of these are a fair medium to even darker roast for the rich chocolatey pod. I think this is a straight up medium roast. Like, it's very much like, even though it's nutty, I could see it paired with a few other syrups as well. I don't think you have to have a hazelnut flavor with this, unlike what I was talking about with the Noceola pod when I was reviewing it. I think this is a little bit more flexible, which is good depending on the person that you are. If you are a diehard hazelnut lover, maybe you might want to go for the original line version of this. But I do think that for me personally, being a hazelnut lover, I love it. And I've been really loving it with the recipe that I'll show you guys in just a second. But overall, I think this is a solid 8 out of 10. I definitely would buy this again out of all the Barista Creations pods that I've tried, but that is just my personal preference. I don't think it's too acidic nor bitter. I don't think it's too dark or too light. And I think that it stands up really well to an iced coffee, which I have tried it that way before. And I think both of these stand up pretty well to an iced coffee, by the way. So yeah. Those are my reviews of each of these pods. I find them very yummy, to be honest with you, more so than the sweet vanilla and the golden caramel. I'm just going to be upfront and honest, but overall, my favorite would have to be the roasted hazelnut, okay? For all you hazelnut lovers, I got you. I got you. So with that being said, let me show you some of the recipes that I've been really loving with these pods. Now, for the rich chocolate pod, I've been liking a couple different combinations. So the first one is some sort of chocolate syrup. For example, in my collection right now, I have the Jordan Skinny Syrup Mocha syrup and the Mexican chocolate from Cafe Mexicano. And so I've been using either of those, probably 2 tablespoons, with a drizzle of this dark chocolate sauce from Torani. Again, it makes it. Living, laughing, loving. Mwah, chef's kiss. Really, really good. And then I've been trying it, like I'll put a tablespoon of vanilla creamer in it, and of course have it iced because love iced coffee. So that's one way I've been having it. Again, list all of that recipe down below. But the other way that I've been having it, which arguably I kind of like better, if that's even possible, is the like using a s'mores iced coffee recipe. So I've been liking it with a couple tablespoons or 4 pumps of this Torani s'mores sugar-free syrup. And then I'll put a tablespoon of this Califia Farms Campfire S'mores in it. So, so yummy. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little spicy, I'll do a toasted marshmallow cold foam. I mean, I'll list all of that recipe down below, but I use this toasted marshmallow syrup from Monin, which again, super yummy. I haven't tried the one from Torani. I heard that the toasted marshmallow syrup is a little bit less like thick, a little bit less like sweet. So if you want more of like a I guess, a marshmallowy, like toasty flavor rather than a sweet flavor like the Monin, go for the Torani. But that's just what I've heard. I haven't personally tried it. As for the hazelnut pod, I'm going to be honest, I like my hazelnut iced coffees very plain and simple. I do it with a tablespoon or two of this hazelnut latte creamer from Starbucks, and then I like doing 2 tablespoons of the Jordan Skinny Syrup hazelnut syrup. I kind of upgraded my coffee bar, so I have a few of these syrups in these cute little containers because I've been kind of sick and tired of just seeing them all out on my coffee bar because it's becoming a problem. So I found a place to store them, and so I just keep a few syrups out for the week in that little area down there. But yeah, so that's how I've been liking it. I've also tried it with the dark chocolate sauce from Torani again, to make kind of like a dark chocolate hazelnut, like a Ferrero Rocher type of thing. It's been really good again, but I just prefer it regular hazelnut iced coffee. So that's my preference. Again, I'll list all of these down below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, enter the giveaway, and I'm so excited to be back at you in the next couple of weeks with another video. I think for the next video, I'm going to be reviewing the Vanglia and the Caramello pod from the original line, the Longos from the Barista Creations, the last couple that I haven't quite reviewed yet. So that'll be my mission next time, but until then, see you guys on the flip side. Bye.